Lesson 1-6, solving for a variable. We have two vocabulary words today, and they're very similar, so we need to make sure we understand the difference. The first one is formula. You have used these plenty of times before. They are always an equation with at least two variables. Could also include constants, but it has to have at least two variables. And they relate to other quantities. So an example is the area of a rectangle. Area equals base times height. And these other quantities, this h doesn't just stand for some number, it stands for the actual height of a rectangle. And then the formula itself shows the relationship between these values. It shows that if you multiply the base times the height of a rectangle, you will get the area. Literal equations are very similar because they can look almost the exact same as a formula. They'll have at least two variables. They may or may not have additional constants in them, but they don't demonstrate a relationship between quantities. A literal equation could be m minus 5 equals n, and I can plug in a value for one of these variables and find out what the other one is, just like in a formula. But this does not relate directly to some outside quantity, right? M in this case doesn't stand for miles or meters or any physical term or mathematical quantity. It's just a variable that stands in for a value. All right. Okay. Concept 1. So solving formulas for a variable. When you're solving for a variable, when you have a formula or a literal equation and you're solving for a variable, you're going to use the same operations you would if you just had one variable. All right, you're going to use inverse operations to move things around, and it's going to be very similar to what you've just been doing. So here is the formula for finding the degrees Fahrenheit given the degrees Celsius. Okay, if I am a scientist studying the weather or temperature in the United States, I would use this a lot because I'd be looking at data from all over the world, and the rest of the world uses Celsius for the most part. So I would have to look at that data, put in my value for Celsius, and convert it to Fahrenheit. But say I was writing a paper or doing a presentation and I was going to Europe to do this, I would have to take all of my data, all my values that are in Fahrenheit, and translate them into Celsius so they made sense to my audience. If I'm doing that, I want to use a different formula, because if I just if I keep this formula and start plugging in my numbers for Fahrenheit, that really doesn't tell me what my Celsius is going to be, because there's all these other numbers here. Okay, I want to first convert this to a formula where I've solved for C. I've solved for my Celsius already. Okay, so the first step when doing that is locating the variable you want to solve for, and that is going to be the variable that you're isolating. Okay, I'm going to use the same steps I would for a normal equation with only one variable. I'm going to use inverse operations, and because I see that this is these terms are separate, I'm going to start with my addition. Okay, inverse, I'm going to subtract 32 from both sides, minus 32, I can cancel that. And it's important, especially when solving for variables, to rewrite your equation often, because you're not going to be able to combine terms near as much. So you're going to have larger, you're going to have operations left over. All right. So then I have 9/5 times C. I'm still trying to solve for C. And this is a fraction I'm multiplying, so I'm going to multiply by the reciprocal, 5/9. those cancel, and I'm left with my C equaling times 5/9, and this is a case where a lot of students might make a mistake. Over here, I've multiplied every term on this side by 5/9, so I need to multiply every term on this side by 5/9. Now I could do that separately. I could have 5/9 times f, and then 5/9 times -32, or I could leave those in parentheses and have 5/9 f minus 32. And this will actually be an easier formula for me to work with. So because I only have to multiply by 5/9 once. I can take my value, maybe it's 60 degrees, 60 minus 32, and then multiply by 5/9, and that's going to be an easier mathematical operation than having 60 degrees, multiplying by 5/9, and then subtracting whatever 5/9 times 32 is. All right, so this, even though it looks a little complicated or messy, is actually the most simplified version of this formula.